Hello, family. Good evening to you. I don't want to hold you too long this evening. It is the week before Christmas. A week from today will be Christmas. So just to give you a heads up, we will not be on for our midweek connection next week because it will be Christmas Day. But I'm so glad that you're here with me. I'm thankful for you being a part of my life and just grateful for you. So I don't want to hold you too long this evening, but I did want to come to you and share some of the thoughts that I've been having around this idea of attachment, so much attachment that we have to our conceptual lives. We are so ingrained with this identification with our temporary selves, and it's fine until it's not to be so connected to our temporary self and not able to fully understand the truth of our beingness. You know, like I was mentioning to a friend earlier today, we were talking about understanding that, you know, things like unity and science of mind and Buddhism and other conceptual beliefs, Christianity, whatever they may be, whatever the religious belief may be, these are the fruit that manifests from pure presence. But they're not God. They're not the be-all, end-all. They're not the source. The source, life itself, is emanating out into the world around us and manifesting in various forms. So I'd like to title this, if I was going to title it this evening, just for a few moments, You Don't Have a Life. You are life itself. I have come that you might be aware of life and have the abundance of that life. Jesus said, I have come that you might have life and have it abundantly. If you don't have a life, this is the first point I'd like to make this evening. If you don't have a life, if you are life, if you don't have a life, you can't lose that life. I want you to think about it that way. Because many of us, especially in the Western world, are afraid of death. We're afraid of what happens after we leave this life. So much attention, even in religious orders, are about what happens after you depart this life. And to me, this is the dysfunction of religion. Because what should matter the most is the life that we're living currently. How are you currently living? Bishop Pearson used to say all the time, he'd say, people will say to you, how you doing? He said, what they're really saying is, how are you dying? And sometimes we're not dying so good. Some days it was a good day, and so we were dying well. Other days it wasn't a good day, so we're not dying so good. Many of us are afraid of death. But if we understand that the I that I am, the Christ consciousness, we talk about Christ consciousness, we do during this season, more than Jesus, the person is the Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness, the I am that I am, cannot lose my life because I don't have a life to lose. I am life that is emanating. I have come that you might be aware of your life, the life that you are, not this conceptual life, but the life that you are. Pure consciousness. There's a difference between consciousness and concept. The animal, for instance, has a level of consciousness, but no concepts. They don't have a conceptual self, so they don't have judgments because there's no ego. Ego rests itself in concepts. And the conceptual beliefs that we have often are the very thing that keep us from advancing, from expanding, from becoming our true and authentic self. Because we're stuck in the concepts. Even you being born, according to the language that we use, you were conceived in your mother's womb. But before the zygote, which is the originating cell of the 50 trillion cells that you have in your body, before that zygote exploded and information, inflammation, and inspiration all began to stir, before that happened, there was the divine, and you were an idea in the heart mind of that divine who decided to plant that zygote, and out of that zygote multiply and specialize into the being that you are. But you are the one who is in consciousness, not just in concept. This is probably one of the reasons that we love animals so much. Because when we look into their eyes, we see simple awareness of the isness of the present moment, because they are conscious, but they are not conceptual sentient beings. The conceptual self is a burden. This is actually probably it's probably the pain body, actually, that Eckhart Tolle speaks of. It's the concepts that con us out of our best life. I've called it before BS, or belief systems. The belief systems we've adopted. There are contracts based on the concepts that we sometimes make with ideas that we need to break. So we make the contract, but we can break that contract. We can shift our consciousness about it. If it isn't working for you, let it go. Stop doing it. I love how Bishop D.E. Pauks, the whole theme was, how's it working for you? How's what you believe working for you? Is it working for you? And if it's not working for you, can you just learn to let it go? You should live free from the con of concepts. Everything you're looking for is really in the place from which you're already looking. So you don't have a life. You are life itself. In a world where we often feel disconnected and overwhelmed, it's essential, I believe, for us to recognize the profound truth that you're not merely a person living a life. In essence, you're the very embodiment of life itself. To me, this realization, this awakening, this conscious awareness opens the doors to a deeper, more powerful understanding of my existence and the abundance that life has to offer for me. Consider this: if you don't possess a defined life, as we commonly come to understand it, you can't lose it. And so therefore, the point I made earlier, therefore you begin to live. I say when people are unafraid of dying, they truly begin to live. When I started thinking about when I started really working with this concept and this idea, this notion invited me to contemplate the nature of our existence beyond the surface level, beyond the experience, beyond possessions, beyond what I can do and what I have, beyond the roles that we tend to cling to. There exists a significant distinction, powerful distinction really, a delineation, if you will, between mere consciousness and the concepts around the life that we've chosen to live, the concepts that we create around us. Again, I go back to the animals. They have a form of consciousness. It's pure. It's untainted by the complexities of the judgments that we make or of thoughts. They're not bound by their thoughts. Animals live in the moment. They experience life in the moment as it's unfolding without carrying around this weight or this burden of conceptual frameworks that we have, these social constructs that we've created. They do not possess a conceptual self. And for that reason, they're able to live free from judgment, because the ego is either turned off or just non-existent within them. I don't know, there's some animals that I wonder about their egos. Our cat Butters, I'm just not sure about him. But, but the ego that often clouds the human experience is not there. So when we return to the Tao, we return to this pure presence that we say we believe in, this innate simplicity is the reason we find out that's the reason that we feel so deeply connected to our animals. Again, I go back to when you look into their eyes, you gaze into their beautiful eyes, you often see a reflection of pure awareness. They're just there. It's a simple acknowledgement of the present moment without being so encumbered and hindered by the noise of overthinking the thinking mind. We are in the process of evolving into a state of freedom from the thinking mind, so that we too can be conscious without so bound by the con of our concepts. On the other hand, the conceptual self that many of us carry around, it can become heavy. Again, it's the Eckhart Tolle, what he calls the pain body. And that pain body to me represents these mental games that we play, the mental constructs, the belief systems that keep us from fulfilling our life and keep us from having the abundant life that Jesus said we could have. So we adopt these beliefs, we adopt these constructs and make contracts, and sometimes without questioning their validity. And they can trap us into a cycle of dissatisfaction and discontent and depression. I mean, we frequently enter into unconscious contracts with these ideas. We have agreements with these ideas. We have agreements with these belief systems. And we hold tightly to them. We hold on to them out of fear and out of habit. And if you can find these concepts and find where you're serving them, it's going to be a crucial moment. Excuse me. Wow. When you recognize that you have the power to let them go. You have the power to live free from the constraints. The con is off. And this enables you to rediscover the essence of your life. The essence of the life that already exists within you. The life that's taking place outside of you. The nature around you. You become much more appreciative of it. Everything you seek, whether it is joy, peace, fulfillment, all of that, abundance, prosperity, all of that resides in you. Everything you're looking for is in the place from where you're looking. It's in the very place that you're looking from. It's within you. So by shedding the layers of concept, by shedding the conceptualizations that we've had, you reconnect with the pure, unfiltered experience of being alive, of being awake, of being aware, of being ignited with the pure presence. And this is what I believe Jesus meant when he said you must be born again so that you can see it. See the kingdom of God. The eyes open. And you start to embrace the truth that you are life itself. And you allow this realization to start to guide every part of your life toward a more meaningful and abundant existence. And you start having this realization that you are life itself emanating. And where did that life force come from? There's only one life force in the world. And that life force is God. And so you have this realization, you're walking around with this recognition, this cognitive awareness, this conscious contact with your divine nature. And when you do that, you start to live in an element of freedom that you didn't live in before. Again, I go back to this is what I believe Jesus meant when he said, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. If you don't hear anything else this evening in this short chat, remember these words. If you don't have a life, you can't lose that life. And remember these words. You don't have a life. You are life, happening, manifesting in real time. And that life force that is within you loves you, cares for you, supports you, is constantly blessing you. Become aware of that blessing. Free yourself from the prison of concepts and fly high in the realm of consciousness. This is the gift that we can give ourselves during this Christmas season. Freedom from concepts. And freedom to live our true, authentic, and essential, original essence. Simply being in the present moment, living from the Tao presence. So there's that big difference between consciousness and concept. Allow yourself to be free from concept and start to live more consciously. All right, my friends, I'm going to get up out of here now. I want to say thank you for being here this evening. Hey, listen, we're doing our Christmas extravaganza called All Holy Night. That is this Friday night. It's not going to be on Facebook, but it will be on YouTube and be on our website. I encourage you to consider watching it and tuning in. It's going to be a wonderful event. We're going to celebrate Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus. We're going to celebrate Christmas. We're going to celebrate winter solstice, all in the same service. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. this Friday evening. If you're not in town and you're not in driving distance to First Unity Spiritual Campus, then you can tune in virtually. But those who are in driving distance, go ahead and come on out. It's going to be about an hour and 15 minutes tops. It's a wonderful way to spend your evening, and I encourage you to join your First Unity family, One Love family, in the same building if you're able to. All right, friends, I hear the music getting started. Hey, there's still time to give that year-end tax-deductible gift, financial gift. Make sure you send that in before the end of the year, and we will send you a letter. You just let me know if you want one, a letter that you can use with your taxes. That's a tax-deductible gift when you give to One Love Consciousness Movement or to First Unity Spiritual Campus. I encourage you to consider giving an offering toward this ministry to keep it going, keep it alive and well and thriving. All right, my friends, again, that music is already playing, so I'm going to get up out of here. Go and make it a great evening.